It's cold. Cold this morning. Can you tell us another story about Timothy and Andrew Chew, Dad? Pearl asked. They were walking through town in the drizzle, going swimming. Dad raised his eyes. Maybe in a minute, he sighed. The cars were making that sizzling sound on the wet road. The trees were bare now. Come on, Dad. You ain't done a story for ages. Did I tell you the one about Queen Mabe's grave? They were now crossing the big road. Dad fancied a drink, but it was too early. No, Dad, go on. Well, Timothy and Andrew's mum and dad had to go to Ireland to do some lectures. And as it was their holidays, Timothy and Andrew went as well. They went on a ferry to Dublin. Then they drove the combi van to the west coast to a place called Sligo. It was beautiful there. Mum parked the combi overlooking the bay. The sea was calm and flat in this little bit. They could see seals on the sand flats. Out of the other side of the van, there was a spooky old house. And behind that, there was a mountain. But it was so close you couldn't see the top. There were sheep on some of the craggy bits. It was great. Timothy and Andrew couldn't wait to have an adventure. Next morning, they all drove into town to get some food and stuff. Mum and Dad were doing a talk that night, and they wanted to make sure the boys had all they needed. After dinner, Mum and Dad were ready to go. Now, chaps, said Dad, you've both got your phones if you need us. Keep the van locked and have a nice time. And no adventures this time, boys. I mean it, said Mum. When the coast was clear, Timothy and Andrew put on their backpacks and went outside. It was absolutely pitch black out there. No street lights. And the one or two houses looked like far off stars. And there were millions of stars. The boys went through the grounds of the spooky old house. Right at the back, there was a huge wood shed. Clambering through all the logs and timber, Timothy and Andrew came into a small field. And there was the mountain. It looked vertical. Looking upwards made them feel dizzy. They sat down for a minute. "What shall we do?" asked Tim. "Well, we will climb up it," said Andrew. They always did.